Hello and welcome into the show, everyone. I am Preston Poole. That is Tyler Adams. This is Unadvised here on the Sports Animal YouTube, Facebook, and on our X account at Unadvised Pod. 'Tis the season. Merry Christmas to all. I hope you got what you wanted today or potentially later in the day, as this is going to be live, pre-recorded, but live just before the noon kickoff of the NFL and once all the basketball gets started as well on Christmas Day. T-Bag, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Hope everything goes well for you guys and ready for some sports on Christmas Day.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you guys and also to our great listeners out there. My favorite tradition is waking up tomorrow morning and getting new socks and the stocking stuff. So can't wait for that one because I need some new socks to wear because my Nike high tops are starting to break down on me.
Yes, and that's what you'll learn the older you get. The socks and the underwear is crucial on Christmas.
I ain't spending my money on that. I ain't spending my money on that stuff.
Yes. Hopefully I'm on the naughty list, so I don't know what I'll get, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. I mean, not a whole bunch to talk about other than the Christmas Day games and the NBA games, but I did want to get into this bowl game that would be going on Friday, the 27th, between Oklahoma and Navy at the Armed Forces Bowl down in Fort Worth. I don't even know what to bring up about this game, T-Bag, because it's one of those games where you're not really ever going to run any of the stuff that you're running for this game again, right? This is a team that has like a very special, offense that you put everything in for one game and don't worry about it ever again. So even if Oklahoma goes out and loses this, and I don't even know what the line is for this currently at the moment.
OU -3.
Okay, so it was started.
We did some early locks in the show yesterday, and Kerry was giving out 3 as a line, but it could move by then, but I doubt much.
And what, a week or two ago when this got announced, it opened at like Oklahoma 8.5. So it's moved down, and I completely agree with that because, again, is there even going to be enough players to field a team for Oklahoma at this point? They've had over 20-something portal entries, and I know a bunch of those guys are guys that never played anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But you are going to have and quarterback and Michael Hawkins. I know Casey Thompson is still there, but I don't know how much he can theoretically play for you. I mean, I guess if you absolutely needed him to, he could. But it's going to be an interesting game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting in the sense of how much is OU going to go out there, and because I really think this is just going to be an effort thing for OU. If OU wants to go out there and win and dominate, I think they can, just because they simply have better athletes, even with all the guys in the portal, even with Michael Hawkins starting at quarterback. But I just don't know if that's what we're going to get because Navy's going to come out there coming off of an Army win. They don't have guys in the transfer portal. They don't have a bunch of guys are going to be playing at the next level or opting out. So bowl games still mean something to the military academies, and obviously Navy is in that category. So I lean Navy just kind of solely based off that. Vibes are probably higher at Navy right now than at OU. So, they can come off, get a 10-win season and Army win, have a fantastic season. So I think that's really kind of it. With OU, it's just watch some seniors play for the last time. Watch Michael Hawkins play quarterback. It's going to be the backup more than likely next year because John Mateer is obviously coming in. And watch a Joe John Finley offense for the last time.
And one highlight I guess you could get out of this game is that Ben Arbuckle will be the quarterback's coach for this game because Kevin Johns left obviously to Oklahoma State. That left a spot open for a coach, so they put Ben Arbuckle there. So, I mean, how much can he improve things, right? And 2-3 weeks, a month maybe that he's been on practices. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Practices, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that. The game is sold out though down in Fort Worth. It'll be a sold out crowd.
There's going to be a lot of Crimson there. I mean, there's a big OU fan base in the DFW area.
100%. And I'm wondering if my my mother was one of those that bought a ticket to that game. I haven't asked her that yet. But yeah, sold out down there at TCU's campus. I forget what they call that stadium. But
The Amon Carter Stadium.
Yes, that is right. That is right. Another thing, R. Mason Thomas today, or I say today, this is Christmas Eve. So technically yesterday when you're watching this, has committed to return to Oklahoma for his senior season. I think that's pretty big. Obviously, if he can do what he did in, a handful of the games at, like the third and fourth quarter of those games for a full season, that guy's going to be a big time draft pick.
Yeah. He'll be a first, second round draft pick. He'll be an all SEC guy. He'll be a fringe all American guy if he can do what he did in some of these games last year. I saw Kip Lewis is coming back as well.
Yes.
So that's another big get. The defense, I think, is going to be really good again for OU next year. Can then take that next step. Obviously, replacing Danny Stutzman and Billy Bowman is going to be big shoes to fill. But I'm sure they have guys ready to step in. It's really just going to come down to the offense next year. So just this bowl game it's just weird how we view these bowl games now, where it's just like I think the only reason OU fans are gonna be upset if they lose tomorrow or on Friday, I guess, is you're not gonna have a winning record. You're gonna have a 6-7 record, so you have a winning record. But then again, I don't think that's gonna be an end all be all for the season, because the season's already, it is what it was. It was 6-6. It wasn't good outside. You had the Alabama win, the Auburn win that were fun, but other than that, disappointing season. And I don't think a bowl game win's going to salvage anything, and a bowl game loss won't necessarily help anything, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything either.
Yeah, and the one thing I guess Oklahoma has going for them, and it is probably going to change a little bit without Danny Stutzman, is they were very good at stopping the run this season. Obviously, you take a big guy like Danny Stutzman out of there, who was a very key part of that run defense. That's going to hamper it a little bit, but I still think they got the guys there to bog things down a little bit on the defensive side of the ball and make things a little bit tough for Navy.
Yeah, Danny Stutzman, obviously a big blow during this game. I've been looking at the kind of the lines on this game, kind of what they're opening at and stuff. It opened at OU -9, now it's down to 3, as we talked about. The over-under 43.5, I think, is an interesting line, because for as much credit as we can give OU on defense, again, it's going to come down to an effort thing. I think Navy might be able to put up some points here.
Oh yeah,
I think OU is going to be able to score some points themselves, just off the athletic level that they're going to have. But so I think that's an interesting over-under right there. Now that I'm kind of speaking out loud, looking at it. But going to be interesting, I guess.
Yes.
This is the first bowl game I've watched, and I'm disappointed in myself on that.
Yeah, I honestly, same for me outside of the college football playoff first round, which is very strange, because normally I pop them on, but there just hadn't been any that I'm like, I need to. I
watched Western Kentucky, JMU. I watched that one, and that was enough for me to be like, all right.
I will tell you, the Pop-Tarts Bowl will be appointment television for myself. I will sit down.
That's every year.
Do you think Oklahoma fans kind of wish they got a different opponent in a bowl game, maybe to kind of I don't know, see a little bit more like what you could see next season out of some young guys?
I don't know. I will say this. I think we have the wrong military academy in this bowl game, because Army, I know Navy beat Army, but they had their bowl destinations before the game.
Yeah.
Army won the conference. Army was the best, team in the American Athletic Conference this year. And they put Navy in there. So I think Army really got screwed if we're looking at it from the other perspective on that. I think Army should be in this bowl game over Navy. But for OU, no, because I think I think you're at least playing an opponent that's going to go out there and care, and it's not going to be like you're playing a team with 35 opt-outs and you're playing, the 4th-string quarterback and, 3 walk-on offensive linemen or something.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. And at least Oklahoma's starting a quarterback that has started and won a game this season in the SEC. All right, anything else on college football, bowl games, anything like that before we move on to the NFL?
No, some of them are really, really bad though, guys. Like some of these bowl games are not going to be fun.
Yes.
So if they look, I am excited for BYU Colorado. That is what
that'll be fun.
Because I think that one's got there's opt-outs, but less opt-outs than most.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, that you just remind me with the Colorado stuff. You see that Deion Sanders announced that the Colorado players will have basically insurance on them in case they get hurt in the bowl game.
Yeah, I did see that. And my one question is, next year when he doesn't have sons that are going to be, the first overall pick in the NFL draft, is there still going to be insurance?
Yeah.
I'm not saying there isn't. I'm not trying to, rip him or, say he's, being a hypocrite right now. Just saying this time next year, let's see where that.
I do think it's a good idea though, and that way it gives schools like some way to be like, hey, here's insurance. If you do get hurt, you're going to get paid out, a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Why don't you, play this, bowl game or I'm trying to think of, obviously the transfer portal has kind of messed things up as far as like guys on big time teams.
But is it worth it to a school like OU to say, hey, Danny Skelton,
probably
we have
not.
$5 million insurance to play in the Lockheed Armed Forces Bowl?
Yeah, probably not. That's the way I'm thinking, because if you're in the college football playoff, obviously those guys are going to play unless they're bench guys that are going to transfer or something like that. So interesting move though by Deion and Colorado. Hadn't seen that yet in college football. All right, the NFL, only 2 games on this Sunday. It is at noon o'clock. By the way, these are all on Netflix for you guys out there. So if you don't have a Netflix,
it's not how the stream go down like it did for it's not how the stream go down like we did for Paul versus Tyson.
Yes,
because I started illegally streaming that.
That's a little different because I think there were like 100 million people trying to watch that.
Yeah, worldwide.
I think there should probably only be like 30 maybe million people trying to watch this. Yeah, because normally regular NFL games run like 20. This is a holiday thing, so it might be a little bit more than that.
Everyone's gonna have this on in the background, even if you're not watching it.
Yeah, so you'll need to have a Netflix subscription to watch both the NFL games today. Noon on Netflix, it's the Chiefs at the Steelers. And for all 4 of these teams, the short turnaround. I mean, the Chiefs played on what? Saturday.
All these teams
played on Saturday. So what is that? 4 days, I think, turnaround before your next game.
Yeah, 2 games in 10 days for these guys.
Yeah, which I don't know.
NFL cares about player safety. They really care about player safety.
Yeah, right. And this is just, I don't get why they're trying to steal Christmas Day from the NBA. I mean, I get it because it's a whole bunch of eyeballs and a whole bunch of dollar figures and dollar signs and all that. But Christmas Day is the NBA.
I know. The NBA, we can talk about it. It's not the same anymore. Christmas Day and the NBA is not the same. Maybe it's because the NFL's taken over. Yeah. With them doing away with the jersey, we'll talk about the NBA and stuff.
Yeah, we'll get into that right now. Let's talk about the Chiefs and the Steelers right now, though. Patrick Mahomes was injured, then not injured, and won a football game, and now he's good to go. And I might be going crazy or something. I'm starting to think he wasn't actually really too very injured to begin with. Maybe that's just the conspiracy theorist in me. Against the Steelers, who got their asses kicked by the Ravens back on Saturday of last week. Kansas City, a 2.5-point favorite in this one. I don't know if George Pickens is going to play in this one. That's what I was
just looking up, actually.
I was going to look at the injury report. He is not listed on the injury report, so that should mean that he will be good to go for
1 hour ago. ESPN Fantasy, George Pickens cleared to return for Week 17.
Okay, so that's big for the Steelers because they're just completely different offense without George Pickens.
Yeah. I would like the Steelers a lot in this game. I think that the Chiefs, it's hard to say they've been playing with fire because I mean, remember when we said that with BYU in the middle of the season?
Yeah.
Like they're playing with fire. It's gonna catch up to them eventually, and it did. It's hard to say that about the Chiefs because they're 14-1 and the back-to-back defending Super Bowl champions. But it does feel like at times they've been playing with fire. Their offense, I think, is scoring averaging 23 points. I forgot what it was, 23 points a game or something. Like relying on their defense. So this game's in Pittsburgh. at Heinz Field. I'm not going to say the other stadium name because that's not what it's called. It's Heinz Field. I do think the Steelers are very alive in this game to come out and win outright.
Yeah, the Chiefs only scored 30 points twice this year.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been a bunch of 20s, and I think they scored 21 in their loss to Buffalo. They scored 30 to beat the Carolina Panthers by a field goal just a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, it's not the typical Chiefs offense that we've been accustomed to, where they're going
to have an elite defense with an average offense, but the average offense has one of the best quarterbacks of all time. So.
Exactly, and they're getting Pacheco back.
The struggle for Chiefs fans.
They're getting Pacheco back, like in the fold. He's only played a couple weeks now after coming off that injury.
Is Hollywood Brown? I know he's cleared, but did he play last week? I didn't watch any of the
he played last week. Yeah.
Okay.
So Hollywood Brown is back for them. Xavier Worley is kind of starting to come on a little bit. He had a touchdown last week, so we'll see. I'm not going to bet against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Chiefs probably go in, they win it by a field goal or a touchdown. That's
probably. I'm going to bet the Steelers money line, and I'm going to be really mad whenever they find a way to lose it when they shouldn't.
I'm kind of mad we're not getting any snow in Pittsburgh either. It's just going to be cold. I wish we could get some snow going there in Pittsburgh. All right, how about the Ravens and the Texans? That one at 3:30 on Netflix. The Ravens a 5.5-point favorite. Obviously, the Texans, huge blow to them, losing Tank Dell, who was finally starting to come along for them. Just basically tore everything and broke everything in his leg last week in Kansas City.
Gruesome.
So it was, and I hate watching that stuff. So I was like covering up the TV screen like as it was happening, because I saw him catch a touchdown and like on the ground, he immediately just starts holding his leg, pointing at his leg, like I need some help. And I was like, that's not good. Something is in the wrong place where it shouldn't be. And then they show the replay, and I'm like, yep, that's not good.
Yeah, I'm extra sensitive to those injuries because back in my senior year of high school, I had a teammate snap his leg. Like Oof. Kevin Wared his leg right in front of me. And I'll never forget him lifting it up and just seeing a dangled leg. So anytime I see anything gruesome like that, no matter if it's a broken leg, a dislocated kneecap, I get the heebie-jeebies pretty bad. So I saw it on Twitter, and then every time I saw it again, it's like nope.
Yes.
But yeah, that really sucks for Tank Dell because he obviously got hurt last year and then hurt again this year. And it's just a brutal loss for the Texans. And I do think the Ravens are coming to take care of business in this game. I think the Texans they're good enough to win the AFC South, but I don't think they're really good enough to do much else. And the Ravens are obviously still playing for a lot on the line.
Yeah. Still quite no reaction like Gordon Hayward when his foot was on sideways and he just kind of like pointed both hands down at it with his mouth open. Or Tony Romo when Dak's foot was on sideways and he said that he might have sprained his ankle. I was like, yeah, dude, that thing is not in the right direction. So
my favorite's when they announced like, we don't want to assume anything, but it's like, his leg is snapped in half.
Yes. I think the Ravens win this one going on. I would be comfortable with the 5.5. The Texans are good, but they're going.
This could be two touchdown in that ballpark.
Yeah, 100%. So both of those on Netflix. We'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting. Their first like real dip into live football. So we'll see.
They had a game. Did they have a game last year during the playoffs?
I don't think so. Maybe they did.
No, because no. I think it was Peacock. It was Peacock. I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Gotcha. I remember they showed a certain game because I remember that was a lot of help for people because most people have Netflix, not most people have Peacock.
Yeah. I guess I canceled my Netflix subscription like 2 months ago. I have to get it again to watch these games. I literally canceled it and it ended the day.
Get your documentaries in while you get it back.
Yeah, the day before that Paul and Tyson fight is when my subscription ended, so I didn't even get to watch that. I was watching on Antonio Brown's Twitter live stream. Is how I was watching.
Yeah, I have a Netflix account. I got the cheap basic level package.
Yeah.
Don't care like if I have ads or not. I'm not paying $10 a month for WhatsApp.
Yeah.
But even then, I couldn't watch the Tyson Paul fight, so I went to one of. I didn't do this FBI, but I might have gone to a legal site to stream it.
Who's to say, right? You never know. All right, let's get into the NBA. Unfortunately, our sweet Thunder aren't playing. Maybe fortunately, because I don't know if I'd want to work on Christmas Day.
That's good for
you.
you.
Probably will have to do that next year. So I'll just, get ready for it. But our Sweet Thunder aren't playing tomorrow. But at 11 a.m. on ABC, it'll be the Spurs and the New York Knicks live from Madison Square Garden. The Knicks, a 9.5-point favorites. Victor Wembanyama on Monday night got Andre Drummond thrown out of a basketball game and then let right back in because he flopped. So we'll see if Wembanyama is going to flop again here in this one.
Believe it or not, a French guy is flopping around the court and trying to get people kicked off.
I know, right?
I saw that. And that was. I'd never seen a player get kicked or get ejected from the game and then brought back in after a review. And even if he did shove him, like that's not enough. I mean, there could have been, I guess, more that went on during the game that we didn't see. But that's not enough to eject a guy. That was pretty ridiculous. That's it. NBA and the NBA refs already protecting their sweet little Wemby.
I think the ref came over to, I forget the head coach of the team, but she came over. She said, "I effed up." You could hear her say that. She said, "I effed up." So I'm interested to see Kat. This
after the girl ref last night.
I did, yes. And that's the game that it happened because she went up to Nick Nurse on the Philadelphia bench, was like, "I effed up."
Yeah,
but still, Embiid, get it together, dude.
Yeah, he was like ready to like fight this girl.
Yeah,
like fight, like he was like getting held back. Like, that's scary. He's a big dude, and she's like some like probably 5'6".
Yeah, not tall. I mean, NBA refs aren't tall people.
No, especially the female ones. I mean, like they're. I mean, if me out there, I mean, I'd be a tiny guy. I'm what 5'10".
Hell, I would be tiny out there. I'm like 6'2". So those guys are massive. As we found out at media day, sitting next to some of these guys, and I'm like looking up at them like that. I'm like, hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
I look for Karl Anthony Towns to maybe go off here in this game against Wembanyama on Christmas Day. There's something about a Christmas Day in Madison Square Garden, and it's the New York Knicks.
Yeah,
to me at least.
Yeah, Christmas, New York, it just feels right on Christmas morning too.
Yes. Noon on Christmas Day there in New York, 11 a.m. here. 1:30 matchup, the Timberwolves and the Mavericks. This will be an interesting one. The Mavericks playing pretty good right now. The Timberwolves 500 after that mind-boggling trade, and I guess they had to get rid of one of those two guys, but they chose to keep Rudy Gobert, which will forever just boggle my mind. But that game on ABC at 1:30, Dallas a 5.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I like Dallas a lot in this game. As you said, they've been playing really good lately. 8-2 in the last 10. Minnesota 6-4, lost 3 in a row. So I like the Mavs in this game, especially with the game being in Dallas. Yeah, I mean, and that trade too is just, it's not so far. I mean, still early in the season. We haven't hit Christmas yet. Well, I guess for listening to this, we have hit Christmas, but for me and Preston are right now in life, it's still a day before Christmas. But trade's not looking too good right now for the Timberwolves.
No. And I remember, I think I was doing like a high school football game, and I looked down at my phone during the game, and that happened, and I was like, "What in the world are they thinking?" So we'll see. I've never really thought too highly of Rudy Gobert in the first place.
Yeah, so. Julius Randle too. I mean, he's injury prone and stuff too. It's just he hasn't really been the same play in the last 3 or 4 years.
All right, 4 p.m. the 76ers and the Celtics. Boston a 10.5-point favorite in this one. This one in Boston. The Celtics will probably win this one by like 40 points. I mean, they're going to beat the hell out of the 76ers.
Yeah, so I mean, 76ers playing better lately, but they're still not up there with Boston, and Boston just completely owns them as franchises anyway. So yeah, I'll take Boston in a big one.
Also, 76ers, take the phone away from your rookie after he literally just gets out of surgery. We don't need to see him posting some video high as hell on whatever drug they use to put you out for surgery.
We made a vlog on YouTube about it.
Like, I'm all for the vlogs and stuff like that, but we don't care about that, dude.
Yeah.
All right. We don't care.
That does suck. He's out for the year though. Jared McCain.
Yes. He was balling there.
He was balling. He was playing really good. Yeah.
All right, this one interesting. A battle of the old men taking place in San Francisco at 7 p.m. tomorrow. The Lakers and the Warriors. Which old man can finish on top here? LeBron or Steph Curry?
Steph.
Yeah, Golden State a 3.5-point favorite. Maybe they're teammates at this time next year. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, give me the Warriors. I just something about the Lakers, man. I can't stand.
Yeah, and the Warriors, they've definitely come back down to life. Over the last 3 or 4 weeks, starting off like 13-3 or whatever. It wasn't that good. Never mind. When their current record is what
15
and 30. Yeah, so it's probably like 10-3 or whatever it was. But yeah, they've definitely come back down to life lately. I do like the Warriors in this game in Golden State, and Steph Curry is probably just going to put on a show on Christmas Day for everyone.
Yes, that's what he does, right?
Yeah,
he puts on a show. And look, I'm not the biggest Steph Curry fan, but after the Olympics, where he just completely torched the whole country of France in the final, 2 minutes of that gold medal game, I was like, all right, this guy's pretty good. Maybe I need to change my opinion. So
yeah.
All right, 9:30 tonight, ABC, the Nuggets and the Suns, a battle of Nikola Jokic versus Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, because no one else on either of those teams are worth a damn.
Yeah, and Devin Booker, I think it's a game time decision too. So even then,
you might not even get him.
Nuggets just blew out the Suns too by 30 the other night. So we'll see. This is the one where you'll watch because you're drunk and there's nothing else on TV, and this is just what you're gonna do to entertain you before you go to bed on Christmas night to wake up and you go to work the next day. If you're a guy like us, it's gonna have to work that Thursday.
Yeah, Thunder play Thursday in Indianapolis. All right, what's your take you wanted to get into on NBA Christmas Day?
Well, it's just not the same anymore. Like the jerseys, they don't promote it like they used to. I don't know. It's just because we're not kids anymore. It just doesn't have the same feel. But like 2013, like in that ballpark, like NBA Christmas was special, and now it's just like, eh.
I think 2013 it was like Thunder and Heat on Christmas Day, like those they just played in the NBA Finals. You need to do something like that. It should have been like Thunder Mavericks or something this year. The 76ers have, and I get it, this is set before the season, before those guys got hurt, but they've got no business playing on Christmas Day this year. Now they do the Suns. The Lakers, I get it, LeBron James, and the Warriors, Steph Curry. That's a good matchup, I think, of two names, and I get that one.
What is San Antonio like? What
I get they have Wembanyama.
I get it, but it's like they're not there yet.
And you'll notice
I'm all for the NBA promoting the young guys and stuff, but it's like promote the young, really good team, Thunder. What are you guys doing?
I think I don't know how far ahead New York is of like Paris or anything like that, but putting the Spurs like the very first game of the day, it's like, all right, we need to try and get as many European eyeballs as we can.
They'll get a lot because it's gonna be noon. It's probably a 6-hour difference from New York to Paris. So it'll be like 6 p.m. there. So it'll be prime time for them to watch that game. Yeah,
of course, good for them. But yeah, I agree. And then the jerseys, like you said, where they had custom jerseys for Christmas. I know they weren't always the best, but those Thunder ones, the blue ones with like the
cursive.
Those were perfect. I love those. It's got to be something to make it feel special, right? And obviously the NBA is going through a bunch of stuff right now when it comes to their numbers being down. Their refereeing is horrendous in the league, and not just against the Thunder, against a whole lot of teams. Their NBA reffing is just terrible. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But this isn't David Stern's NBA. That's for sure.
No, nowhere near David Stern's NBA. No, lots to fix.
Yes, 100%. Well, alrighty. Well, I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas today and Happy Holidays. Anything else before we get out of here, T-Bag?
Yeah, have a good Merry Christmas. Don't drink and drive.
Yes. Uber.
Yeah, and enjoy time with family.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We will be back on the weekends. Follow us like, subscribe, do everything at Preston Pool 405, at Tyler Stakes, at Unadvised Pod. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and we'll see you later.